Trouble with setup. I want to get it like that. I'm not going to touch it now. Okay. So I'm just going to keep working on this and keep pulling it together. It's been, what, 2 days, and this is already touch dry. So that's good. I have my number 2 medium, which is right here, that I make it on my own. There's a video on that on my YouTube channel. This is the one I use. It's half 50. So it's linseed oil with turpentine, and that's what I use. On smaller paintings, I will use liquid or some kind of medium that you can buy. Because I'm still in my study stage. Figuring things out and testing the waters and see if this is going to work. So I have this great little scraper. You can hardly see it, right? You put in a razor blade in here. Comes in and out, so you're protected. Okay. Just wiping down some paint that I had on my palette. I'm still using a large brush. Dip it into the medium and wipe that off. Don't use a lot. Oh, let's see. How do I want to get started on this? First, I need to check my paints. So I'm a little befuddled today, late in getting set up here. And just want to my titanium white is okay. It's just been 2 days, and I think because of the heat, I'm going to mix up an orange since I am here. This is with lemon yellow and quinacridone rose. So basically all cool colors on the palette today. And Just working with that. So the last time I was working on these olive trees and basically mixing up my ultramarine blue and raw umber. So I'm just mixing a black, and to that black, putting in this lemon yellow. And it will make a dull down green. That's not an olive green though. So I'm going to add a little bit of the quinacridone to the, the complementary color to tone it down a little bit. And if you add white, you can see what's happening. It's still too green. It needs to be grayed down. That's more like an olive color. So I'm going to add some more raw umber. And there, I'm pretty happy with that one. Okay, so let's, what I'm doing in this stage is getting this area, this tree is closer than this tree, and I want to establish that a little bit. And here we have the sun. Some of these areas would be more in shadow. Olive trees have these lovely leaves on one side. You can see they're like this silvery white, like a light green, the olive green color. You see how that just brought that tree forwards? Just really pulled it forwards and hardly did anything. Up here, because these branches are going out of the painting, They are also higher up, so they will also be more toned down in hue and value. So there'll be a lighter value up here. We're not going to have too many darks. Let me just get a shadow color in. You know, we have these olive trees that they just grow so crookedly. You know, they're slanted and twisted, and I just love them. And maybe just warm it up where and coming back, moving into this area back here. This olive tree is farther in the background, and we're not going to have it the same value as this one, as the one up in front. So we need to make it just a little bit more bluish. More dulled down gray, grayed out olive green. Okay. And it's just very, very slight, subtle changes. Like here, let me show you the palette again. Okay, so I have this, which is my olive green, and here you can see that I've added I've added some quinacridone and ultramarine blue in here and lightened it up with white. So it's just a little bit even more pale, which is what I'm using here in the background. So I'm just taking little bits, mixing it in, and using it. And it just depends, you know? The farther back you go, you don't want to have strong shadows. The values become lighter and just helps push it back into the horizon. As for example, I forgot to turn you back up this way. Hello everyone. So, you know, some areas can have just to emphasize the shadow area. But moving up, adding a little bit of burnt sienna to warm up the shadows. Still just using ultramarine blue and working with the burnt sienna. The more I move forward, coming down into foreground, the more burnt sienna I will be using. One moment. Mr. Powell. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to have to jump off. I have been called on duty. Sorry about that. It is a busy time of year for me here. And I'm going to have to get off. But you can see, look, you know, the difference between what we had before and afterwards and how that has created space. All right, you guys, have a great afternoon.